Alrighty then, we're back. My name's Kagami. We're playing Katawa Shoujo, and this is a visual novel about disabled people. I know that sounds kind of bad, and probably the way I said it was even worse, but it's good so far. I hope you're all enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. But yeah, so let's just keep getting into it. We're with Lily and Hanako, and we're getting lunch, and that Subway sandwich was delicious. Before I can even open my small bag of food, Lily's busying herself with her thermos and tea bag, as Hanako's setting out both their box lunches. So is this what you meant by coming here almost every day? Yes, Hanako and I usually have lunch here. It suits both of us, so we ended up using this room regularly. After seeing Hanako's reaction to me over the past couple of days, I can understand why this is a boon. That and Lily being able to get some quiet away from her class as well. I take my seat last after Lily poured the tea in for us and sits down. The more time I spend with these two girls, the more I think they're a perfect foil of Misha and Shizune. Even without a voice, Shizune is directed and brash, and Misha seems to get along with everyone. On the other hand, Lily is soft-spoken and relaxed, while Hanako seems to be the shyest girl I've ever met. So, how are you faring in Yamako, Hiseo? You seemed a bit flustered before. Apart from getting lost every now and then, I'm gonna pause this recording. Hold on one second. I'm back, and due to the magic of editing, it's only been like a second, but anyway, I had to take a phone call. It's so professional to cut off halfway. Anyway, where were we? Apart from getting lost every now and again, and being sorry about that. Being crash-tackled outside my classroom, fine, I guess. You looked pretty hurt before. Are you really okay? For a brief moment, I considered telling Hanako and Lily about my condition, but then I hold it back. I can't tell why, but for some reason I feel uncomfortable talking about it to these relative strangers, even if they have been pretty friendly. Yeah, it's nothing. I was just a bit startled. Judging from the two girls' expressions, I don't think they're buying it, but what I assume is their way of respecting my privacy. They don't press the matter. I guess that is one of the unwritten rules around here. Don't ask. Even if people's conditions are obvious, like Hanako's, there's still bound to be a story involved. Everyone has things they don't feel comfortable speaking about, and I think everyone here recognizes that. So, how long have you been in this school? You both seem to know your way around pretty well. Well, I've been here since the start of high school, but only moved into the dormitory a year ago. Hanako joined at the start of high school as well, and moved into dormitories when she did, if memory serves me right. Click. That's right, since high school. So you've known each other since then? Since I moved, yes. Hanako lives next door to me, so it's only natural, right? Right. Yeah, of course. I don't want to know Kenji anymore. Living next to someone is probably reason enough to befriend them, though I'm guessing that Lily's blindness played a part in it as well. I can't imagine Hanako making friends with someone who is so deliberately I can't imagine Hanako easily making friends with someone who has to deliberately look away from her scars. With the immediate conversation dried up, we start to eat our lunch. Munch, munch, munch. It isn't long before the bells are signaling the end of break. Like me, the girls pack their lunches as efficiently as they set them out. I guess I'd better be off. Are you going to go with Hisei, Hanako? Hanako looks up at me for a second, and I can see that she is considering skipping class, maybe just to avoid walking to the classroom with me. Yes. I don't know what to think of it. Hanako really is delicate to the point of breaking if looking at in the wrong way. Or breaking if looked at in the wrong way. It makes me a bit nervous too, but I push the feelings aside, trying to be as natural as I can. We should hurry then. Class has already started by the sound of it. Lily gives a nod of farewell as she bends down to take her cane. Hanako and I filing out before her. We quickly walk down the empty halls in our respective classes. Dat face! As we reach the door to Lily's 3-2 classroom, she turns towards me. Hiseo, thank you for sharing lunch with us today. My pleasure, Lily. And with that, we part ways. Lily entering her classroom and leaving Hanako and I to make off on our way. She's still looking like she wants to run away. So, do you really want to go back to class now? Yes. Okay then. I feel like I should say something more to her, but it's hard to come up with anything that would be appropriate and safe enough. And Lily was right. The more time we spend out here, the more explaining we have to do. I open the rear door to the class and walk in. The teacher looks up at me and opens his mouth to say something. However, as Hanako follows me in and closes the door, he simply nods at us and continues his lecture. This is the third time that Hanako has had her truancy practically ignored. There's definitely something going on here. We make our way to our seats, and I notice that Misha and Shizune are both missing as well. I wonder if it's some form of informal agreement with the staff, or if it's a perk afforded to the unique students of this school. Trying to make a little disturbance as I can, I extract a relevant textbook from my bag and start catching up. The class goes on quietly. The teacher seems like an okay person, despite the weird first impression I got, and the material is relatively interesting. However, the way he teaches is really bizarre. It's as if he expects that everyone is natural genius. When the final bell sounds, I realize that there's still a lot of time left in the day, and I'm left wondering what to do. It's odd. In the hospital, I have 24 hours a day of free time, but here, filling the considerably shorter hours feels difficult. Everyone else leaves, and I'm left alone with our teacher. Muto is explaining the assignment sheets we were working on earlier, marking them with red ballpoint pen. Raising his eyes from his papers briefly, he notices me and furrows his brow. What is it, Nakai? I jump at him addressing me, but I guess it's natural to spark up conversation since there's nobody else around. Nothing. Just think about what to do after school. The teacher slowly puts the cap on his pen he is holding and arranges his papers into a stack, clacking it against the desk twice. More papers and desks. He seems very methodical, and for a brief moment I'm reminded of Shizune and the teachers. He is more unhurried and relaxed, much more routine. You have no plans? No, I considered joining a club, but I don't know what kind of club would interest me. Go observe a meeting in someone else's club. Might pique your interest. I guess. I don't know how to continue from there. Muto looks me in a way and makes me think quickly. Makes me quickly want to take the words back to avoid a conversation. But I can't. I have to forge ahead. I just don't know how to deal with people. I mean, the other students. I'm talking to people and everything, so it's not that I'd be isolated or anything. I don't know what to think about disabilities. It's like, it feels that I'm being impolite if I pay attention to them, and it's weird if I ignore them. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. The teacher scratches his cheek absent-mindedly, looking very unresponsive. These things are only an issue if you make them one. You can talk normally with someone even if they are blind or something. Try to look behind the superficial. There's not a single student here who isn't just a normal kid behind what it might seem at first glance. This is the same thing Yuko did. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking for my phone charger because my phone's doing a timer. I said timer this time, and the phone's almost dead, so... Sorry, you guys probably don't really care about that. I'm just trying to plug it in so I can actually keep my timer going. I'll keep reading though. I know they're right, but it's hard. How can you not consider, for example, Shizune's deafness? There's only one way to communicate with her, and it's talking through Misha. Or Hanako, it's not like you can ignore her face. But... I'm interrupted by the door of the classroom suddenly slamming open. Teacher! Misha crashes in, hands straight in an enthusiastic greeting, her voice loud and lively enough to wake the dead from their graves. She starts towards the teacher's desk with her bouncing step, hands energetically swimming to the rhythm. Muto, visibly dismayed by the interruption of Misha in general, slumps in his chair. Mikado? Misha stops in her tracks and looks around cluelessly, as if she's sensing from his tone that something's wrong, but had no idea what. Yes? We've talked about volume control before. Yes? She doesn't lower her voice at all, and the teacher just rubs his eyes. So, what is it? We need help. We are running out of supplies for the festival stands. But this is a distress. She waves a pink slip of paper, holding it around. So, go and get some more supplies from the art room. What's the problem with that? Plywood. Plywood is always the problem. Last time we wanted more, there was only a little. But this time we took it all and went with that. Now there's like none left there, so do you know where there's some more? I don't understand. How would I know? Shi-chan, I mean the president, thought that the teacher would know if there is plywood. Was she wrong? Muto looks as if he's in great pain, frowning from his entire essence, and Misha doesn't get it at all. Looking at the two of them, they communicate. Looking at the two of them communicate is terrible. It's like looking at a man being tortured by drilling his skull open while blasting pop music at full volume at the same time. That's a wonderful way to put it. I'm afraid I have no idea if there's any plywood in the school, let alone where it would be if there's any. Aw, what should I do? Perhaps try to find Mr. Naomi. I'm quite sure he would know where to find everything you need. You have to pry that from his cold, dead hands, but it's a different matter. I don't have time. We're so busy. She holds her head with both of her hands, looking so despairingly as it's possible for the person like her. Without even noticing, she crumples the note she's holding in her hair. I shouldn't even be fetching these things. There's so much to do and we are falling behind the schedule. Muto looks at her gravely and then suddenly smiles. Smiling doesn't really fit his face. I think it'd be better if he didn't. I wonder if you could get some temporary help. He switches to staring at me focusingly. And it's a hard expression. It's going to go make some friends. I guess I can give you a hand. You can? Thanks, Hika-chan. You're really nice. She pauses, does a double take, and then points at me with her fingers, yelling, "Ah!" and looks very puzzled. Come to think of it, what's Hika-chan doing here? Class is over. You should be having fun. We just had a little chat. Oh, no, it's not detention, is it? Are you in trouble, Hika-chan? No, I'm not. Is Hika-chan in trouble, teacher? No, he's not. Muto sighs deeply, and I feel that I have to help Misha to get him off the teacher's back. So, what do you need? Here's a list. I can try to find the plywood from somewhere if there's none in the art room. She offers me the note she's holding. I take it, hesitating a little bit. I said I'd help you, but there's no implications of whether I'm joining a student council or not. Aww. Still, thanks, Hika-chan. Try to be quick. We're in a stall building street now. You need hurry, hurry, hurry. She bounces off the classroom, leaving me and the teacher looking at each other with something that feels like a silent agreement. Oh, there you have it, Nakai. You have something to do now. Please don't sound so smug. Looking at the list with a number of items ranging from paint to plywood, all written with small, neat handwriting, is undoubtedly Shizune's. I leave with a sigh. I'll be going then, waving the long list limply at the teacher. I exit the hallway. The classrooms closest to ours are designated belonging to classes 3-1, 3-2 on the right side, and 3-4 on the left side. Each door is looking exactly the same. Further down the corridor, there's that face! With identical rooms I didn't think were used for classes. I guess the art room is not a classroom as much. I carefully push open the furthest door and peek in. The classroom, but there's rather badly kept or not in use. Am I in the right place? Desks and chairs are all around the room. A thin layer of dust settled on them. There are some easels in the corner, at least looks like the right place. The room is flushed in sunlight from the big windows. Shadows creeping all over the desks. Specks of dust were dancing in the stagnant air, making the beams of light almost visible. Chokingly, I called into the empty room. Anybody home? Something catches my eye and I stop mid-sentence. Sitting on a desk is a short-haired girl curiously wearing a boy's uniform with a fork between her toes and a morsel of food stuck firmly on the end. This odd way of dining seems to be caused by her apparent lack of hands, and her presence here is what takes me back even more. How did I miss her before? She's sitting in the corner, very still, but still somehow took her apart from the furnishing. The statue at first glance, I'm not too observant today as a whole. The girl seemed to be frozen in place, staring at me with her huge eyes like a rabbit in headlights. She's staring at me, or... Oh goodness, so much reading. Not used to it. Her mouth is wide open, ready to accept the fork. was staring at her mouth wide open, suddenly remembering I didn't finish my sentence, and you think if I should. The weird stalemate keeps us both stunned in silence, punctuated only by the wall clock ticking rhythmically. Hello. The girl stuffs the fork in her mouth and is now staring at me expectantly while chewing. It's a bit awkward. Hello? I was told to pick up some supplies from here for some festival stalls, I think. I didn't think there'd be someone in here. There isn't. That's why I came here too. She picks up another forkful. Doesn't that mean you're here then? She raised her eyebrows as if she's suspecting my observation was false. You are pretty observant. I guess it does. Who are you? This girl's pretty straightforward, isn't she? I'm Nakai, Hiseo Nakai. I just transferred here on Monday. I'm Rin. Tezuka Rin. Rin Tezuka. I won't shake your hands with you, but at least we know who we are. That's very nice. Her deadpan manner of talking makes it hard to determine whether she's joking about shaking hands or not. It's kind of bothering me. Talking about these matters doesn't feel appropriate at all. I'm trying to figure out what's appropriate and whether this girl is. She seems to have lost interest in me and now gazing yearningly back at her food. Can I continue my lunch? If you don't mind me, I won't mind you. If you need to get your stuff, the supplies are in the back. Go right ahead. But lunch, school's already over for the day. What word would you use then? A word for a meal after you eat after lunch, but before dinner, right? It bothers me so much too, but I don't really know what I should say. I don't think you're supposed to eat a meal between lunch and dinner to begin with. But I'm hungry now, and my delicious boxed lunch would go to waste otherwise. I have curry. It's very delicious. With much decisiveness, Rin once again picks up her fork between her toes, and with at least as much impoliteness, she pointed it straight at me. So, Nakai, what brings you to this place? Like I said, I was told to look for these things. No, the school. From outside, you look fine, but your problem inside. I come to a full stop, opening my mouth, but not getting a word out. I can guess. I'm good at guessing. Better than most people. Rin cuts me off before I can answer a question, or skirts around it somehow. I don't know which I would have done. I froze in front of the issue again. I haven't even told anyone here about my condition, or maybe this is only because it hasn't really come up. I do get the feeling this is not making issues of this at least. It's a part of the social code here, as the teacher said. I wonder if the people here could relate. Probably not any better than any normal person could. I can't relate to Shizune's circumstance or Lily's either. Naturally, while I go through it in my head, Rin keeps considering what my condition could be, and with an overly contemptive look on her face, she puts her fork between her lips and leans back, looking at the ceiling as if the answer was written up there. A beam of light illuminates her face in the window's side, creating a mask of dark shadows on the other side. I don't think it's anything in your head. It's something in your gut. This would be boringly ordinary, like this lunch of mine, and less delicious. The problem must be in your pants. This messed up Sherlock Holmes kind of statement with a sheer lack of tact is delivered that catches me completely off guard. I think I might have reeled back, even physically, as Rin's eyes widen, revelation and astonishment. So I was right. There's something wrong with your tackle, isn't there? Still partially in shock, but recognizing the need to reply something, I spit out the first thing I can think of. No, it's nothing like that. I have a heart problem, arrhythmia. I said it. Well, like, blurted it out, but I said it. The girl in front of me pushes her lips together and glowers at me. It looks very disappointing. How boring. Well, the pants would have been much more scandalous. What's with that reaction? I'm sorry I let you down. I forgive you. Just, I collect people and a person with you. You know, that kind of problem would have been really great. Collect people with different problems. Huh? So you just, like, go around asking people what's wrong with them? Pretty much. I see. With little left to say, Rin resumes to her lunch and conversation dies away, but I kept thinking about what she said. It's the first time I told anyone about my condition. All the other people have either known it already or heard it out from someone else. Or I didn't need to know about it like every other student here so far. Should I have told it as a natural part of my introduction? Is it expected of me? Hi, I'm Hiseo. I have a very serious heart condition. Is that how I'm supposed to go around introducing myself from now on? As if our disabilities would define us? It's a disgusting thought. Maybe this Tezuka girl just has an unnatural interest in such things. As I walk to the back of the room, she picks up an item on Misha's list. A chance opens to study Rain from the corner of my eye. Her hair was a burnt auburn, almost orange, and cropped short. Long hair would probably be impossible with no arms. The boy's uniform and lack of arms makes her look very thin, almost scrawny. She's not particularly pretty, except for her murky green eyes, which flicker restlessly from below her short bangs, even when she eats. The distance in the shadow makes it seem like they don't reflect sunlight at all, but instead absorb it with all the deep wells. She moves her feet almost as deftly as a normal person would use their arms. However, I can see how this slight would discomfort people, especially while eating it. Makes me feel a bit uncomfortable, at least. I hesitate to think about the word unnatural. It's too late, isn't it? I keep searching the cabinets and shelves for Misha's things, but after enough time passes, the silence grows too uncomfortable, so I try to force some conversation out of the strange girl. So, do you always eat alone this late, or do you get the occasional visitor? And the mystery shall remain for next episode. Dun 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 dun. If you enjoy, like, favorite, subscribe, all that fun stuff. So I hope you're enjoying the series. I am still. It's getting pretty late, and I keep playing. And I apologize for yawning. I just wanted to get a whole bunch of episodes in. Tell me what you think, and as always, have a great night. See you later.